Here's my daddy, Professor MJ.
Let's end the week on a good note with 4 more MLB predictions for Friday, August 22nd. The last time I talked to you was Wednesday, and at that time I shared 4 picks, all on underdogs. So all we needed to make a profit was to get 2 victories. Unfortunately, we got a 1-3 record, which was a disappointment. The only win was the Yankees money line, who won in extra innings at Tampa Bay. Alright, so today let's get started with a pick on the New York Mets and Atlanta Braves, and in this match I like the New York Mets to win straight up. The current line is around -110 in American format, which is the same as 1.91 in decimal. Alright, so why do I like this play? And as you can tell on your screen, this is a 4-star play, so I like it quite a bit. Well, the Braves received devastating news. Austin Riley is out for the remainder of the season. He will undergo surgery with a core injury. He should be available for the start of the 2026 season. But for now, he leaves a big hole in the Braves lineup. Sorry. Now, are the Mets contenders or pretenders? This series will go a long way towards answering that question. Now, they must win this series if they want to be taken seriously. They are holding on a wild card spot by the barest of margins right now. Now, New York will look to rookie Nolan McLean to get off to a good start. The 24-year-old from North Carolina has appeared only once this season, and he performed admirably. In fact, he gave up just 2 hits across 5 1/3 innings against a tough Seattle lineup, so hats off to him. The Braves will counter with Joey Wentz, who was picked up from waivers from Minnesota. Surprisingly enough, he has obtained a good 2.60 ERA with Atlanta in 7 starts. But I'm not sure that his success will continue, given that he has played for 3 teams this year. He is not a great pitcher at all. I know that he's fared well with the Braves so far, but to me, this is not going to last forever. Now, Atlanta owns a 7-3 record this year against the Mets, so that will give extra motivation for the New York players. I really like them to get the W today, especially at such very reasonable odds right here. Alright, my second selection is my underdog of the day. I'm taking the Chicago White Sox with the first half money line. Right now, the best current odds are around +120 or 2.2 in decimal. And this is a 3-star play, which means I believe the ROI is around +3 or 3.5% right now. Alright, so in this case, after netting just 1 win in 6 road games, the White Sox are returning home at Wright Field. And meanwhile, the Twins dropped all 3 games against the Athletics. And overall, they were defeated 9 times over their last 12 matches. Now both teams are out of playoff contention, which means they are basically playing for pride. And in that case, I prefer to side with the home club because they don't want to look bad in front of their home fans, of course. Now, Aaron Civale gets the nod for the home club. He owns subpar numbers this year, a 4.88 ERA, along with a 1.36 whip stat. Now remember that the league average in terms of the whip stat is 1.30. So Civale's 1.36 figure is higher, which means he is below than average slightly. And also he has struggled in August with an ERA close to 7 during that month. But against the current Minnesota roster, Civale has allowed a 227 batting average, so it bodes well for tonight. Now, meanwhile, Minnesota will hand the ball to Zeby Matthews. He is in his 3rd year with the Twins, and his career numbers are very high. His career ERA is 6.19, and his whip stat is 1.59, which is abysmal. I know that he strikes out batters at a high rate, So perhaps there is light at the end of the tunnel, but for now he is still allowing plenty of runs to his opponents. So the Twins play poorly away from home. We have a small pitching edge when taking the White Sox for the first half. Chicago is also at home, and also we are getting positive odds, so sign me up for that bet. I like Chicago White Sox with the first 5 innings money line. All right, let's take a quick break to show you how my oldest son Maverick did a couple of days ago. So they grabbed a 9-0 victory, which now guarantees them to make it to the semifinals. They still have one game out of the 4 round-robin games that they were supposed to play. But it will be meaningless for us because we're already guaranteed a spot in the semifinals, even though we got ripped off by 1 point in the standings by a referee, which was in a power trip that ejected 2 of our assistant coaches for not so valid reasons, let's say it. All right, so Maverick pitched 2 innings. That was the maximum that he was allowed to pitch a couple of days ago. And he racked up 4 strikeouts. So let's see some footage from that game. All right, good job, Maverick. All right, so up next, I like the Texas Rangers minus half a run in the first 5 innings against Cleveland. So in other words, I am banking on the fact that Texas will hold the lead through the first 5 frames. And the corresponding odds right now are minus 125 or 1.80 in decimal. And as you can tell, this is also a 4-star play, so I like it quite a bit. Now, Cleveland holds the better win-loss record out of these 2 teams, but their run differential is minus 34 compared to plus 47 for the Rangers. So don't get misled too much by the teams' respective records here. And on top of that, Texas is a completely different squad, whether they are playing at home or on the road. In fact, they hold a solid 37-26 record at Globe Life Field compared to a poor 26-40 record away from Arlington. And finally, the pitching matchup favors us big time. Nathan Eovaldi continues to perform at an elite level despite being 35 years young. He's dished up some mind-blowing performances this season, and over 21 starts, his ERA is 1.76, which is one of the league's best. And meanwhile, starting for the Guardians is the fading Slade Cecconi. He started his first year in Cleveland on a good note by putting up some good performances, but things have gone south in recent weeks. If you focus on his last 6 outings, he has posted an ERA of, he has squandered 24 earned runs across 35 innings, and if you do the calculations, that equates to a 6.17 ERA, which is quite poor. In fact, Cecconi owns the 8th worst home run per 9-inning figure among all MLB hurlers who have pitched at least 80 innings. So the long ball has been an issue for Cecconi, and hopefully the Rangers will take advantage of that tonight, because that is my 3rd MLB prediction for today. Finally, why not end this video with a pick on the Dodgers-Padres game? And in this match, after doing my due diligence, I have to side with the Dodgers to win straight up. But this is a 2-star play. I'm not as confident about this selection right here. All right, so let me mention some arguments supporting this pick. So sure, the Dodgers were recently swept by the Angels, and they also split a series against the worst MLB club, the Rockies. However, they have owned the San Diego Padres. Indeed, they have won 8 of the 10 encounters against their arch enemies this year. And how do you spice up the encounter even further? You throw in Blake Snell as the starter for the Dodgers. Now, the former Padres pitcher won't need extra motivation as he takes on his former club today. Now, granted, the Padres have been very tough to beat inside Petco Park because they have accumulated 41 wins versus only 21 losses. So they've been quite strong in that stadium. Now the Dodgers fit under a betting system called the Hot Bats #1, which goes as follows. Let me show you the details right here. Give me a second. So fade the home team if they either won their last 2 games by scoring 6+ runs in each of those wins, or if they have picked up 4 straight victories by putting at least 5 runs on the board in each case. Now, if you focus on the home team, San Diego, they are currently riding a 3-game winning streak, and in their 2 most recent matchups, they scored exactly 8 runs in each of them. So they fit under the first of the 2 criteria shown here, and by following the rules, we must bet against the Padres, which is why I am selecting the Dodgers in this case. Now, Snell has had limited action in 2025. He returned from a long stint on the sidelines. In only 5 starts, the talented lefty has produced a good 1.80 ERA. But before you get overly excited, you need to pay attention to the fact that he has obtained a poor 1.44 whip stat, which is worrisome. That shows that there has been a lot of traffic on the bases, but he was a bit lucky to get away with it, but that may not last forever, especially against a pretty tough Padres lineup. Now, Yu Darvish gets the call for San Diego. He has been very inconsistent during the 2025 campaign, as shown by his 5.97 ERA. Come on, man. But still, I feel like there's a chance that Yu Darvish could do well tonight against Los Angeles, so I will be cautious, and that's why I have graded this play as being 2 stars only. So you can see a recap of my 4 picks for today. And I want to end quickly this video by not only wishing you a great weekend, but also by inviting you to check out the video I recorded a few weeks ago, presenting some super early NFL Week 1 picks. The season will get underway very soon, in less than 2 weeks from now. So check out my 5 picks for Week 1. I will produce another video in the week leading up to the actual start of the season. But for now, I already have presented 5 plays. Alright, so thank you very much for watching this video. Have a great weekend, my bunch of bookie crushers!